Okay, welcome to the Dynasty Warriors glitch analysis series, where we take a look at the bugs and glitches and out of bounds discoveries in Dynasty Warriors, and we're finally at Dynasty Warriors 4. And we're going to take a look at a very nice glitch where we glitch basically into gates where you're not supposed to be, where all the soldiers spawn. It can be done literally everywhere in the game. There's another type of glitch that can be done in the game, so it's a little bit more broken than Dynasty Warriors 3, but you need to do a lot more stuff to do this. So yeah, it's not that easy compared to Dynasty Warriors 3, but it breaks the game more open than you could ever imagine. So the first thing I'm probably gonna do is select one of these that is that depends less on anyone on the battlefield besides me, so I can just do whatever I want. How about we try this? Oh, no, that's not gonna work, there's no horses. How about this one? Maybe that's gonna work. Because this could technically be done anywhere, but I at least want to try to do something that looks a little bit more impressive than just glitching into a little area that you could see anyways. So, since these gates are all closed, I think it's not gonna work. But that one is open. Okay. First of all, we get a little bit of health. So you see these gates, when you walk towards them, you basically can't walk through them. And if we look at it from the side, if I can finally do this, it's too many people, you see the horse can't pass a specific barrier. But if you walk sideways, you can break this barrier. And while walking, you want to save and quit. And then you want to go back into the game. And this should allow you to be behind the gate. I can specifically explain why this happens. Okay, it didn't work this. It did work this time. Okay, it happens every time when I do this. I'm so confused. It worked. Okay, we're behind the gate, and now we basically have free access to the entire map of Changban. So this happens because when you go into a gate, this game specifically puts the game into specific parts, I guess. And when you save in an invalid spot, which the gate should be, it tries to put you into a valid spot. But because you're already slightly behind the gate, it puts you into a valid spot behind the gate, because technically the next valid spot would be behind the gate. And because it doesn't work like Dynasty Warriors 3, you can basically have access to the entire map. I mean, you can't walk out of bounds, there's a different glitch for that one. But you can see, like, we have access to the entire map. And if we wanted to, we could also go... It works. Okay, I didn't expect this one to just work. This is also technically an area that you're not supposed to be in, as you can see, because if you see these wooden poles behind this is usually the inaccessible area, but on this version of the map it's not. Interesting. I didn't know that. I mean, I didn't explore every single map that way, but in many cases these maps are completely modeled and they just use a small part of it. It's not the case in the original maps, where they sometimes cut out parts that you don't see, like for example on the Hulao Gate map. There is part of the Tong Gate map, because they're basically one map, but the part that's missing on the map is also missing from the model of the map. Just like this one part of Luoyang that's missing, it's actually there, but there's no models in it that you would see in the level where Sun Jian gets his level 10 weapon. It's also funny to see it from this perspective, because you're not supposed to be behind this gate. It's really funny. I mean, In some maps you can walk out of bounds. Oh no, I think this could actually work. Okay, it doesn't work. Someone actually put an invisible wall there. That's interesting. But I don't know how good this invisible wall is. Maybe it also works the same way as the gates. We could try that. But I'm not 100% sure that this is gonna work out exactly the way we think it would work out. There's always a way to try, I guess. Would be funny if it would spawn us completely outside of the map. That would be an interesting one. I don't think it will do that because this is like a completely invalid spot that it can't even put you as a failsafe. Just like I thought. Yeah, this is like a complete failsafe where if you would be spawned outside of the map, you would be put in a valid space. It's a bit different than the one with the gates, because the gates put you in a valid spot that is nearby, while this puts you in a valid spot that you could be on at all. It's usually what happens if you jump outside of the map. It just tries to put you back into any spot that you could be put on. So yeah, this game is a bit broken, as you can see, and this is not even the last time we're gonna see this. Because that also works in a few more games. The only time it doesn't work is in Dynasty Warriors 7 and 8, because in these games the engine is completely different. Even though Dynasty Warriors 6 is basically or also like very close to the Dynasty Warriors 7 engine, but the difference between those engines is that it's completely reworked. So obviously these glitches would not be there anymore. But we can still take a look at the rest of the map, because you usually don't get to see this during the normal battle. So maybe there's some stuff missing, some stuff broken, because in some other maps if you glitch out of bounds, well, technically out of bounds, this is technically out of bounds in these battles, but if you glitch out of bounds, sometimes objects are missing, like entire buildings, entire gates, and other stuff. Like the glitch that we use to get through gates doesn't work on these ones, because you just cannot get close enough to them, no matter what you try. Even if you would try it like this, because they put an invisible wall in a way that, yeah, you see, you can't even pass if you tried it. So that's not gonna work. But it's probably gonna work with a lot of other places. But yeah, that's a glitch. So you basically glitch into a gate slightly. First you try it sideways, and then you turn around, and then you walk into the gate with the horse, but you just keep walking while you press the start button, and then you just save, and then once you come back you should be behind the gate. I think I could also have my allies just walk behind the gate, but I don't think that's gonna work that easily. There is another glitch that we could try, but I think I'm gonna leave that for another episode. So yeah, I hope you liked this episode. If you did, give it a thumbs up, maybe subscribe to see more of this, and yeah, bye bye. Okay, welcome to the Dynasty Warriors Glitch Analysis series, where we take a look at all the glitches, out of bounds stuff, and all the other broken stuff in this game, also interesting stuff in this game. Today we're gonna take a look at some of the out of bounds places, but since there are so many, I can't really show all of them because there's like so much weird stuff. But I'm gonna show the most interesting things. So first of all, we're gonna take a look at where's the Hulao Gate? There it is. So on the Hulao Gate map, some of you may remember that Luoyang itself is actually split into 4 parts. But the 4 parts, not all of them are used in this version of the map, because maybe you can already see there's nobody in the lower part on the left side, and we're gonna take a look at it anyways. So yeah, let's have a look. I already activated something where I can walk through walls, just to show you. I can just walk wherever I want. Makes it a little bit easier to do this. But I can tell you that the green thing on the map is completely broken once you go out of bounds. So it's gonna be a bit broken, especially because this game doesn't expect us to do this. But yeah, this is the gate. Maybe some of you already tried to find a way to get through this and they were never able to go through it. Well, now we're gonna see it. And something is wrong over here because some of the objects are missing. They are technically there, but also not at the same time because the shadows are there, but nothing else, which is weird. Also, something interesting is there's a river over here. At least there's supposed to be a river, but as you can see, it's not really there. It's a little bit weirder than in Dynasty Warriors 3 because in Dynasty Warriors 3 you could just walk around and not glitch around that much. But yeah, this is where the river ends. And the area behind Luoyang, maybe you remember Dongshu were fleeing all the way over here. Well, when I go over there, maybe you know this map already, maybe you don't. This is the Tonggate map that we have over here. A part of it, like 25% of the map, because it just stops on the other side of the river, so there's no bridge and stuff, it just ends. So you won't find the entire map. It would be one of the biggest Dynasty Warriors maps ever, but I think it just didn't fit into the memory. That's why they had to split it up, because the main plan would have probably been to make the maps gigantic. But it didn't fit properly, so yeah, that's the sad part about it. It could have been so good. But I guess that's what we get. Yeah, that was like the best part I could show on this map. But it's definitely one of the more interesting ones, because you usually don't see this part. Now you can. And there's the water from the places. Some things are still there, some things are not. Okay, let's go right to the next one. The next interesting one. I mean, some of these things, let me just look through the maps. I remember them very well, so I know exactly if there's anything interesting. But usually there's not too much stuff out of bounds, except for like the maps that already exist. That's like the interesting part, because you can see stuff that you wouldn't see because the normal playable areas are actually cut off. Sometimes these parts even don't exist, like if you know Guan Yu's escape, sometimes that just doesn't exist, like some parts of it. They're just cut off and never added. Okay, this is an interesting one. Maybe you remember this battle where instead of having the entire GB battle, you have two sides, because there's like these islands on the sides, or not really islands, but you know what I mean, like the shores. And the interesting thing is that this entire water area exists in the game. You can visit it completely. And we're gonna take a look at that, because first of all there's these boats, and you see that they don't really have an interior. And yeah, they changed some stuff about how the boats work, I guess, or not the boats, the hitboxes. Because I can walk under here even though I'm not supposed to be able to walk under here, because in Dynasty Warriors 3 I would have been just glitched up onto the normal playable area. This doesn't happen here anymore. Yeah, this doesn't happen anymore for some reason. But over here is the first island. The one where Cao Cao's gate would be located when the Battle of GB happens. Well, at least, well, you can't walk all the way over here, but this is like the place where you would get your stuff. But now it's floating, you can't really reach it. I mean, if you go further over here, you see that some textures are missing. This is where the boats would be. And then if you go even further, you would at one point just reach the end of the map. So there's not the other side. You won't find the other side except for these few parts, I guess. This is like an island, I think in the middle or something like that. I don't know. I didn't look too closely at the GB map. And stuff is breaking all the time when you move at double speed. But okay, so the maps are pretty accurate with the stuff that you can see, at least in the original. In Extreme Legends they became a bit sloppy when it comes to the stuff what the map actually shows. Even though you can't access these areas normally, it's pretty cool that they're still marked on the map, so it's a little bit more detailed than Dynasty Warriors 3 could ever be. Especially because you can't even see these places. Why are they even visually mapped? But I think it's pretty nice, because in Dynasty Warriors 3 you wouldn't have that. There would just be an end and then they would do random stuff out of bounds. And over here there's not too much interesting stuff. Just a lot of out of bounds stuff that doesn't mean much. We've seen the same stuff in Dynasty Warriors 3 as well. Otherwise, what's also interesting is that this weird stuff also still happens on the mini-map, so still a little bit broken, because it's basically the same engine as 3 but just reworked over a while, and it for some reason disappears over here. Let's see if in this game stuff breaks as well. Okay. It at least spawns me back where I'm supposed to be. So there's the sun. Apparently it doesn't break if you go out of bounds. Like the even worse version of out of bounds. Yep. It does not do anything. But maybe, just maybe we can control where we fall. Yeah, we actually have a bit of control over that. That's pretty cool.
You uncultured swine! Gunning! Protect this ship at all costs!
Gunning!
Continue on to the enemy's main
So yeah, you could technically control this where you would fall. I don't know why this would be useful, but yeah, you can make him spin. But yeah, okay. Next map. Where is it gonna be this time? Well, let's see if there's anything interesting. I mean, we could technically see if there's like parts of the map that are not supposed to be there, but in the original they worked around this pretty well. Like they did their job as they were supposed to do. Yeah, there's not much interesting stuff in the original game anymore because they did it pretty well. But then there's the legend mode where they really did not care anymore. Especially on this map. Like, they did not care at all. We just gotta be quick, because first of all we can't have horses on this map. And the other thing is I need double speed, because otherwise everyone's just dying. And this is not good.
Come out and fight like men, you cowards. Silence! Just do what I say!
Yeah, and because it's not Dynasty Warriors 3, this stuff is not gonna help us. That's not good. Well, then we probably have to walk it the legitimate way. At least until we're out of the castle. Because for some reason this game hates angles. Especially like 80-degree angles. It hates them. Is this even possible to walk over there? Yeah, it is possible. Okay.
Come out and fight like men, you cowards. Silence! Just do what I say. I was but an inch from death. On you, consider my debt to you repaid.
This should not be possible.
Do this on purpose. Way on, kill this filthy traitor.
But yeah, so what I want to show is, you know, this is supposed to be on the map where the Shishui gate is. And if you walk straight towards the Shishui gate, where it is supposed to be, you're gonna find something interesting. Or should I say, nothing interesting. Because the entire gate is gone. It's just water. I don't know why there's water under the gate. It's quite weird, but... I mean, I guess they were saving on resources, so there's no gate. I think this is based on the Xuchang battlefield map. Yeah, it is based on that one, because over here there would be the road where Guan Yu would go to his ship, but that one doesn't exist, so yeah, they are saving on resources. I mean, the entire castle up there doesn't even exist on Guan Yu's escape, only this lower part. But yeah, even over here we can take a look behind this gate where there's just mountains. I don't know where the guy is fleeing in the normal Shishui gate map. But yeah, without a horse, going on mountains is very difficult, and it's very bright up here. I mean, usually nobody can even go up here unless you use the other glitch that I'm gonna show later. I don't know in which episode, because it's a very difficult glitch and I can't promise that it's gonna be successful. But maybe it's gonna work. I already have a good idea how to do that then. But yeah, as you can see, the Shishui gate is gone. That was an interesting thing to show because I really wanted to show this. I found this like 7 years ago. And I was never able to put it into a video. Now it's finally time. Okay, is there anything else interesting that I could show? Because I mean, they have their full maps. The developers were a little bit lazy on this one, because no matter how small the maps are, the full maps just exist. And I think the best way to show that is with Dianwei. If you know his Extreme Legends map, you see this is the entire map of one castle, but you only have this really small space where you just have to defend and defend until Cao Cao escapes. But what if we just walk through the wall? What about the rest of the map? It still exists apparently. I mean, they removed some parts of the map to save on space, and something is a bit broken over here, like some things are not supposed to be this way, but otherwise some stuff just isn't loading in sometimes. But this is the full map. They didn't even like try to make it seem like something is like not supposed to be part of the map. I mean, this map doesn't really have any interesting stuff out of bounds. I just wanted to show like how much they keep in. No wonder why the Extreme Legends maps are so laggy, because it just loads in stuff. It's not even supposed to be there. Okay. I think that's like the last interesting thing I can show. But if you want to take a look at it, And if you have the tools for it, I mean, technically you already have the tools if you use the other glitch that I'm gonna show in a few videos. But yeah, until then, if you have the tools for it, you can also explore these. Not too much interesting anymore, but maybe you're gonna find something that you find interesting. And yeah, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Maybe subscribe to see more and see this very crazy glitch if I can do it. And yeah, bye bye. Okay, welcome to the Dynasty Warriors Glitch Analysis series, where we take a look at all the glitches, the out of bounds discoveries, and all the other interesting stuff in this game. Today we're going to take a look at the combo limit. I think the best map we're going to take a look at is in the legend mode. There's this, this one. This map is pretty nice because it's a small map and you can just select the side that you like more. I will do this with Zhang Liao because he's a lot better than many other characters at making combos. It's not because he does a lot of hits at once, it's just because I'm very good with this character. This is one of my, if not the best character that I can play. So yeah, let's try this. So first we're gonna walk around here, just, you know, get the other side to be my allies. And then we're gonna walk back in. What we first want to try is to isolate one of the enemies. But before that we should just probably fight some of them. Just a bit, you know, just make a bit of room so that we can do cooler stuff. And yeah, so some of these enemies might be a little bit difficult because this is the highest difficulty, and I don't know, I could care less to play on a lower difficulty, because why not? Why not play on the highest difficulty? At least it shows that I can play the game. I guess that's the point. But yeah, let's just get some of these out of the way. You know, without them it'll be a lot easier. And some of them have very much boosted stuff. Yeah, because in this stage it's one of the rare ones where the soldiers actually get boosted, which is pretty cool. It's like the only other time this happens is actually in Xu Chang if you fight against Cao Cao, and otherwise you're probably never gonna see this. I'm trying to combo this one and it didn't work. Okay, let's try it again. It's the lightning element that never works, but okay. Again. Maybe we can get one against the wall. That would be the easiest, because if we get one into a corner, this should be possible. Okay, this is okay. Maybe we can try it with this one. Okay, it's not good if they're alive, they're gonna jump around. It's not gonna work. But maybe this one's gonna work. Just gotta keep him up in the air. Just keep him in the air. I lost him. Okay. Again, let's try it again. Could be worse. If it would have been in like the hundreds, it would have already been stupid. But okay, let's try it again. We've lost nothing. We want them to go into a corner because it's so much better to combo them in a corner, because this attack just does exactly what I want it to do. And it takes a lot less to... Like, you don't have to concentrate that much in this game, because it's a very simple attack, and it happens automatically. Like, I don't have to do a lot. Just have to hope that they behind me, they just don't hit me. This looks promising. Just a little bit more. Perfect. Okay, now we got him into a corner, and apparently the hitbox is just so good that everyone behind me gets hit, no one can interrupt me, and he's just getting comboed. Just perfect for this. Oh yeah, also there's the Muso plus 10 if you ever need it. And I hope the guy that's boosted doesn't hit me, because he's one of the few guys that can actually interrupt this. And we're just 100 away, so maybe he's just gonna disappear over there. Just don't get any close over there. 200. And just like before, the animation of the combo on the upper left side is gonna stop. And there we go, we did it. And the combo repeats. That's what happens. 255 is the upper limit of combos. Beyond that, it'll just be 0, like you never hit anyone, where it stands all the time. Okay, I mean, I hope you liked this episode. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. And maybe subscribe to see more of this interesting stuff. I'm probably gonna let this battle play out a little bit more. So just watch the gameplay. And yeah, I'm not gonna talk anymore. Just, you know, enjoy the gameplay. Bye bye.
さすがですね。そうなんだ。 これより片時も私のそばを離れるな。
Okay, welcome to the Dynasty Warriors analysis series, where we take a look at all the glitches, the out of bounds stuff, and all of the other interesting things in this game. And today we're gonna play a very specific character again, just like I did in Dynasty Warriors 3 and 2. And now it's gonna be very interesting, because the character that I'm playing is going to be a normal soldier, but with a specific weapon. So it only works with edit characters in this game for some reason. I don't know why. I guess it's because that's how the mod works. I don't know. But that's not a bad thing, because the weapon we get has a lot of range. What's important to know is that this time the characters have some animations. The jump off animation exists, but not the climbing on animation. I guess that makes sense because you never see them climb onto horses. Okay, but here we have the normal peasant moveset. And I think this is like the highest difficulty in the game, so let's see what we can do. It's a very slow moveset. It's also not the best moveset because it doesn't cover as much as the other ones would do. But he's not weak. Like, he might look like a normal peasant, but he is not. He is not. Just like in all the other games before that, the peasant is one of the most powerful guys in the game. The moment his Muso attack is full, he's just God. Like he might look small, he might look weak, but when he attacks, he just sweeps. Let's try it on this guy. Maybe he wants to find out how strong peasants are. Okay, apparently the hitbox is not exactly in the spot where it looks like it is. I mean, that would make sense because you're not supposed to be able to play this one, but yeah, that's what happens. Just sweep all of them away like it's nothing. Especially him holding this weapon, it looks so stupid. Like, he doesn't even know what he's holding, just like the other guy in Dynasty Warriors 2. Like, he doesn't even know what he's holding, he's just swinging it around and hoping for the best. I mean, I guess that's what most people did back in those times. They just picked up a stick and hoped that they would win. So he doesn't have an attack like the charge up attack in the air. That's interesting because the playable characters have that, but not the normal soldiers. I mean, technically they do have that, because they use it all the time. But for some reason I can't use it. The damage. So apparently the peasant seems to be very strong, just like in the other games. In Dynasty Warriors 3, if you use him right, you can defeat Lubu with this guy. Yes, grant him some power until he just loses it immediately. I don't know why, but peasant is just so overpowered. It's also the reason why, even if you play in Dynasty Warriors 2, this guy for some reason can even win with the lowest stats, because he does 10 times as much damage with his Muso attack. He has so many hits, he's so fast. But you never see him use his Muso attack if you don't play him, so that's an interesting thing about this. His normal attacks are pretty weak, but You know, that's what's hiding all of his powers. You think he's weak, and then he does this. He just sweeps your entire army, including you. That's how powerful he is. This is one of the funniest ways to play this game. Impressive. It's quite impressive, especially if you don't expect that from him. And now let's see how much damage he can do against a playable officer with like all the boosts that you can get. Yeah, that's what you say. Strength alone will not save me. Yeah, look at your health gauge. Maybe strength alone can help me. Maybe not my normal attacks, but my Muso attack is going to help me. The other interesting thing is that he still has like the Dynasty Warriors 3 attacks, or even like the Dynasty Warriors 2 attacks. Because in Dynasty Warriors 4, they added a combo to this one, but he still attacks just once. So yeah, he still has his Dynasty Warriors 2 moveset, just like in the game after this one. Pretty cool that he also has a victory animation. He's doing a lot of stuff in this animation that's like really cool. Okay, so this was a pretty short episode, but I can't do very much with this character, so yeah, I hope you liked it. There's gonna be more episodes of this game, because I just realized that there's an entire glitch that I haven't documented, so just wait for all of the cool stuff. So yeah, if you liked it, give it a thumbs up, maybe subscribe to see more of this, and yeah, bye bye. Okay, welcome to the Dynasty Warriors Glitch Analysis series, where we take a look at all of the glitches, the out of bounds stuff, and all of the other broken stuff in this game. And today we're on the normal Dynasty Warriors 4 game, because there's a glitch that I really want to show, and it only exists in the normal Dynasty Warriors 4. But unlike Dynasty Warriors 3, it exists in every single Dynasty Warriors 4 version, even in the Japanese 1.1 version of this game, that probably nobody knows about, but I know about that stuff. So we're gonna take a very easy battle for this one. How about one of the Yellow Turban ones? Yellow Turban Menace. Because in this game, you maybe know this, but since Dynasty Warriors 2, if there's a victory animation, the camera goes around the character and he just moves in a specific way to just like, you know, show that he's happy that he won. You know, kinda like that. And in this game, in the normal Dynasty Warriors 4, if you throw up an enemy, it can completely destroy what the camera is supposed to do. Or not exactly the camera, more like the character, but let's see if the equipment is good. It's not exactly the save file that I would use for this stuff, but it looks okay. So what we have to do is a little bit tricky, that's why I would save before I win this battle, because sometimes it takes a few tries. I think I could do it first try, but I'm just gonna be safe so that I can show it properly without having to go through this battle like 8 times. So when you throw up someone in the air in this game, it's a little bit weird, because they changed some stuff. And what they changed is basically how elevation works in this game. It's a little bit different than in Dynasty Warriors 3, but it still looks the same, it just works a little bit different. And it can happen that when the character jumps up in the air and then is in the air during the fade out of the battle into the victory animation, it can happen that the character just spins around a little bit. And we're basically going to make it work by throwing up an enemy into the air, because if you do it this way, you don't fly up, you need an enemy nearby. So we're just gonna save really quick, but I can do this just the way it's supposed to be. And then we're gonna see something very funny, because this could be different with every single character. It could be different depending on how long you are in the air and stuff. You could even make it so that you could defeat the enemy and then barely throw the enemy up while your character is jumping up, and then have a lot of time in the air, and this could spin your character even more. So a lot of crazy stuff can happen. You just have to defeat this guy. And keep some enemies around, because you want to be able to throw at least one enemy up in the air. Okay. Just a little bit more. Okay, this is gonna work. And after this, the character's gonna be in the air and then he spins around, just like that. And you see the camera is completely messed up. It's not supposed to be a thing, but it happens in every single normal Dynasty Warriors 4 version, so not Empires and not Extreme Legends, sadly. They fixed it in Extreme Legends. It doesn't even happen in the prototype version of 4 Extreme Legends that we have access to. So, yeah, but it worked first try. It's a very funny glitch. I randomly found out about that one while I was getting 100% in the game many years ago. I don't know if anyone ever found this. If you knew about this glitch, just let me know. Yeah, I hope you liked this episode. And then maybe subscribe to see more of this funny stuff. And yeah, bye bye. Okay, welcome to the Dynasty Warriors Glitch Analysis series, where we take a look at all the glitches and the out of bounds stuff and all of the other funny things in this game. Today I want to show you something very interesting. It's one of the most powerful glitches in this game. I might only have 2 places where I can show it, where I get it to work consistently, but this works basically everywhere. So yeah, first thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna go to Changban on Liu Bei's side, because this is like where the easiest version of this glitch can happen, and I'm gonna explain why. The 2 times I'm gonna show you how it works is also from 2 videos from YouTube. Probably gonna put like the links in the description or something if I don't forget about it. Very old videos. And I'm gonna explain why some of these glitches work and why they are a lot more difficult in other places. But yeah, we have the good horse for Liu Bei, and then we just have to go all the way down to where the boat would be if Liu Bei would escape. But I mean, he can't escape if you play him, so you would have to play this battle in a really weird way if you play him. Okay, so what we want to do is just to get to the southern part as fast as possible. And then I can show you something interesting. First of all, don't do this while the boat isn't there, otherwise you'll just get stuck, you know. But if the boat spawns, you can actually walk everywhere. It's kinda how it works for some reason. But it's only that way on this battlefield, otherwise it would work without any reason, I guess. You can just do it on every straight area. Okay. Now we're gonna have to fight this guy to get him out of the way. Luckily the difficulty isn't too high, like I didn't set it to very hard, I think. So that should allow us to do this a lot easier, because getting there is not that easy. So now the boat still isn't there, but it will be there once you open the second gate. Once both gates are opened, the reinforcements will appear. Okay, and that should be it. The reinforcements appear, now the boat is there. I mean, it would usually kind of exist already, but it's just invisible. And once you do this, it appears. So about this glitch, let me just start very easily. So the horse, you know, you can jump off the horse, you know, like this. And you see, you can't really go through the wall anyways, no matter what you do. But what you want to do here is to get as close to the boat as possible, not exactly like right next to it, but you want to be like around here. And then you just walk with the horse and then you jump off, but you do it at a very specific angle and at a very specific spot. So basically like this. Now it doesn't work for some reason. It's not like I've tried this for hours before this. Took a long time to get to this point. And now it's not gonna work. Oh, nice. I literally practiced this for like 5 hours. And now it's not gonna work. Now it's working. Let me see if it is actually consistent. Or if it actually has to be in a very specific way. Okay, it has to be in a very specific way. The horse has to be moving and you have to jump off the horse while it's really running. And then if you jump at that specific spot, you should just jump through the wall, because for some reason they have a different type of wall around here. Not the normal wall, it's a little bit more difficult to jump through. And now you would basically be free. You can explore the entire map, you could even walk outside, which is not suggested because you'll just fall. But only to a specific point, like you can't fall too deep, I think. Oh, now we're inside the map again. But I mean, I think you get what I mean for this map. Like I don't have to show too much because there's nothing interesting, and you saw how it worked. But I'm gonna explain it a little bit more in detail once I go to the next one, because this is where the magic happens. Okay, now we're at the right spot, just like that. So right at this spot, when you go right up against the ledge in a very specific angle, after a few tries it should work out very easily. It's a very specific angle, just like 45 degrees, maybe a little less, maybe 30 degrees. And you want to do it at a very, very specific spot like that. Try it over and over again. At one point you will be able to do this. Just a bit more. And then it's gonna work. Just like that. So this could technically work at every single spot in the game. But it's very difficult. Like, you've seen it, it needs a straight line, a very specific angle, and yeah, it's not that easy. But yeah, I hope you liked this episode. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, and maybe subscribe to see more of these glitch videos. And yeah, bye bye. Okay, welcome to the Dynasty Warriors glitch analysis series, where we take a look at all the glitches, out of bounds stuff, and all of the other interesting things in these games. Today I want to show you if Dynasty Warriors 4 Empires is as glitched as Dynasty Warriors 4. I can't really show it because there is nothing to show, but I will try to explain why it is that way. And for that I'm just going to start a new game and then I'm just going to talk about it while I do that. So the idea is that when you play Dynasty Warriors 4, you can save in the middle of battles, like you've seen with all the gates and stuff. And with the other glitches, it's like you can jump down a wall or something like that, and then like using a horse you can jump through the wall, whatever, you know, all of these things. Or the one where you throw the enemy up at the end of the battle and then your character turns around and the victory animation is all messed up. Those are all interesting things, but they are not possible in Dynasty Warriors 4 Empires. First of all, because you don't have the specific ways to save. That's one of the problems. The other problem is that even if you could save, I don't think this bug would work in this game specifically because there are no gates, they don't exist technically. The only thing we could try, if we would get a horse, this is the perfect map for it, we could try if the glitch from Extreme Legends works, the one where I used Chao Yun. It's obviously not 100% possible without a horse in general, you know, like jumping out of bounds. So we need a horse to even try this. But like the saving glitch doesn't work, and the glitch where your character turns around in the victory animation, that doesn't work anymore because they already fixed it. And for some reason the hacks are still on, that I had on from the last time I used this. That doesn't help us a lot because this happens. But I guess it doesn't matter. I shouldn't even have to try this. It probably won't work anyways. So what I specifically mean is that you know, like going down here with the stuff with the horses, maybe it's gonna work, maybe not, but I can tell you Empires is not as glitched as Dynasty Warriors 4 is. So you're not gonna find anything too crazy in this game. In comparison, it's probably the least glitched version, because all of the glitches that exist work since like the Dynasty Warriors 4 version, the Japanese 1.0 version. It's also kind of the reason why I wanted to make this series in the first place, because the Dynasty Warriors 4 version is just completely broken, and there's so much to show. I mean, kind of also because of Dynasty Warriors 3, because, you know, it's also very broken. But these games are broken in different ways. So, yeah, we're just gonna walk around, take a look at some random places where you shouldn't be. Otherwise, the only thing I can say is that some glitches might work, some glitches might not work. But the ones that work are probably really small ones that, you know, sometimes I'm not even aware of some of the glitches because they just happen so naturally in the game that I can't really even tell that anything is going wrong. But with the main glitches, like glitching out of bounds, the horse one should not be possible in specific ways, just because this is a much more optimized Dynasty Warriors 4, and you know, there are ways to try it, but I don't feel like trying it in Empires. Empires is not the game that you should glitch around in, it's much more fun to play it normally. So Empires is not that broken, and yeah, there's not much to see, I guess, but in the end, like, we're talking about the main games in this series. Empires is not really a game that I also like to break, just because this is my favorite game of all time. But if you would ask me, are there glitches in this game? Yeah, most definitely there are glitches in this game, but not the ones that you know, not the ones that you would expect from this game. Because like, it's completely different from the way it works, from the things you have to do. And that's why this is probably one of the least glitched games that exist, outside of some small glitches. But every game has glitches, no matter what you do. Some of them are just hidden much better, or are just incredibly complex through like some parallel universes and stuff. But yeah, it's not much to show in Empires. I can talk about like random stuff in this game, but it wouldn't really do much. So yeah, I hope you liked this episode. Give it a thumbs up, maybe subscribe to see more of this, and yeah, bye bye. Okay, welcome to the Dynasty Warriors Glitch Analysis series, where we take a look at all the glitches and bugs and out of bounds stuff in this game that are interesting and very broken. Today is the conclusion of Dynasty Warriors 4. So before I say everything about Dynasty Warriors 4, I just want to make sure to say this. This is not the end of like the Dynasty Warriors 4 glitch stuff, because whenever these conclusions happen, I've just shown all of the stuff that I know. But if there's any new discoveries or any other things that I could explain better, or maybe there's a consistent way, or maybe the glitch has even more uses because someone found out how to make it even better, then I'm gonna add it to this. But when I do the conclusion, I've basically talked about everything that I know about the games. So yeah, to the conclusion. Dynasty Warriors 4 is a pretty broken game, because some things just allow you to get out of bounds in ways that should not be possible, especially because of how hitboxes work in this game. I mean, they're a lot more solid than in Dynasty Warriors 3, so they're not as broken in that specific way. But yeah, that doesn't mean that the game isn't broken. It just means that you can probably find a different way to break this game. That's like the interesting thing. Like, there's always ways to break a game, and this game has a very specific way. It's not as easy as in Dynasty Warriors 3, not as straightforward, but if you know what you're doing, it's probably gonna work out very easily. The other thing is about some of these glitches, like the one with the victory animation where you just break the character. Sometimes it can get even more crazy. Like, there are stages where the camera either doesn't move or just stutters around. There's a lot of different things you can find. I mean, obviously I can't show all of them because, like, there's too many different variants, too many different ways of breaking the game. So yeah, but since I showed you how it works, you can try it for yourself. That's kind of the point of this series. Like, I'm not gonna show every single variant of a glitch. I'm not gonna show every little pixel that you can discover out of bounds, just because I still want to have this little option for you open where you can explore these maps yourself and these glitches, so that if you discover something, then it's not like, oh, I've seen this in the video already or something like that. So you know that if you try this, it's not like you're just doing this because you just want to try it once and then never again. Like, if you really want to explore this, then there should still be a way to find stuff for yourself and not just always expecting the same thing to happen, because that would be crazy. But yeah, about this game, my favorite glitch is probably the one with the gates, where you just save in them and then you can just walk somewhere. I mean, most of these gates are not as impressive because they don't really lead anywhere. You know, like, if I would go over here, I could just do this again, and it would not be that impressive because I could just see the area behind this. I'm just gonna do it for fun. But yeah, it's like, these glitches are interesting generally because they do something unexpected. Like, you wouldn't expect that these gates that are just supposed to spawn troops, that they become so broken that, you know, most of the time, all of them are broken. And it's pretty fun, you know, when you have some broken stuff in games. But it obviously depends on how broken something is, because if something is unplayable broken, then you also don't want to have that, you know. I mean, in this case it's fine, because as you can see, like, it doesn't break too much. This is very fun and you can just leave without any problems, so it's not really a game-breaking bug, game-breaking glitch. These don't really exist in the Dynasty Warriors games unless you go to Dynasty Warriors 8 where literally everything is broken. I'm definitely gonna make a series about Dynasty Warriors 8 as well, but we're a bit away from that, I guess, because there's also some stuff in Dynasty Warriors 6 that I want to show. But yeah, about all of the other glitches, or like out of bounds stuff, it's not as interesting, I guess, with the out of bounds stuff, and yeah, but at least, you know, you can still find stuff or see something from a perspective that you haven't seen before, and that also counts for something. Yeah, but I don't have anything to add anymore. That was the Dynasty Warriors 4 series up to this point. I hope you liked it. Subscribe to see the next episode. That's probably gonna be in Dynasty Warriors 5. It's a game that I don't like, but I'm still gonna show it. So yeah, if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to see more, and yeah, bye bye. Okay, welcome to the Dynasty Warriors Glitch Analysis series, where we take a look at glitches and out-of-bounds discoveries and all the other broken stuff. And today we're gonna take a look at another Dynasty Warriors 4 glitch. I've never tried this glitch before. I mean, now I did, but like before this I've never tried it, so it's very new to me, even though it's one of the oldest Dynasty Warriors 4 glitches. And I'm gonna show this glitch today, but before I do that, let's have a look at my first reaction to that glitch, because I recorded it when I tried that glitch for the first time. Okay, let's see if this is a real. I don't know. I haven't tried that glitch. I mean, I usually don't record these because I'm just testing stuff for myself, but I don't know. So, Battle of Healing, Wu side, as Lu Xun. Let's see if this works. So the comment says, in Yiling Wu side, choose Lu Xun, have him ride on a horse before starting battle. After the battle begins, just go forward, don't touch any buttons. Lu Xun will go in the river in front of him. Okay. So I'm playing this on the normal Dynasty Warriors 4. So I think it should work, I don't know. And he has a horse selected. Okay, so just pressing forward. I don't know if I have to do that while this cutscene happens, but let's try it. It didn't work. I mean, I guess I'm aware of certain other glitches that might exist, but I never got them to work, and I think this is one of those, because I remember one of those glitches at Hulao Gate, where they were just running out of bounds by just pressing forward, but that apparently doesn't work. I mean, I can try it again. Maybe I shouldn't press the start button, I don't know. No, not him, but yeah, let's try it again. Okay, so just pressing forward, no other buttons. Not even skipping the cutscene. That one doesn't seem to work. I mean, I've always been skeptical of that glitch. Like, I watched these videos and I never got them to work, even though apparently they're very simple. Let's try it at Hulao Gate. Maybe that's gonna be a little bit different. I think I remember playing as like not me, but like someone else playing as Chao Yun. And it's basically the same, right? Just pressing forward and but yeah, I've always been skeptical of these glitches because I was like, I never got them to work. How am I supposed to just walk straight ahead and then out of bounds? I'm not sure this would even work, because it doesn't seem logical that you just walk up a mountain just because you walk straight ahead. Like, shouldn't there be like collisions? Okay. I didn't say anything. Okay. Okay. Apparently that works. It didn't work in Yiling, but it worked right here. Okay. Guess I got some work to do to find out where else this glitch works and why it happens. I definitely have to make another video about this now. I never thought that this would be real, because think about it like this, I tried this like 100 times many years ago and it never worked. And I mean, I have no cheats on. I can literally look into the settings of the emulator, like there are no cheats on. So I guess this just happens. I mean, I was aware that something like this existed, but I wasn't sure that it was true, you know, like usually you have these, oh yeah, look, I found a glitch, and then they just use some cheats just to, you know, farm some clicks. But I've never seen this before, and you can basically just rush this now. Yeah, basically. You can literally speedrun this. That's cool. That's very cool. Okay, I guess there's gonna be another video for Dynasty Warriors 4. Whatever part this is gonna be. Because I lost count already. Yeah, I'm gonna another episode. Yeah, that could be the fastest Hulao Gate I've ever played, without cheats or hacks. Yep, that's another video that's gonna happen. I'm gonna look at this stuff, and maybe there's gonna be more to it. I have a lot of time right now, and let's see where this is going, I guess. Yeah, now I'm gonna make another video. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, I couldn't get it to work exactly that way. But, I mean, I guess, you know, I can still try it on a different stage like you've seen in the video. But I think I have a kind of an idea of why that glitch occurs, and why it would even work in the first place. And also something funny that I can also say, I've also recorded that I've even tried it in the beta version. Yes, that beta version. Yeah, and here we go. The Battle of Yiling, the Wu side. I'm just gonna show it again to explain you why it probably doesn't work for me. So, playing as Lu Xun with a horse, and then you basically start the battle. and it said that you just press forward, like no other button, just on the D-pad you press forward, and then you basically just walk without pressing any other button. And then apparently you should just be able to walk across the river, but that doesn't happen for me. So obviously whenever I try these, I'm always very skeptical at first, because I've seen a lot of videos about glitches, not specifically Dynasty Warriors, but also a lot of other games like Pokemon games, and that's usually where people use cheats and then say, okay, that's a new glitch or something like that. It obviously isn't in many cases, but instead of going to Yiling, we will go to a very special map, like you've seen already, the Hulao Gate. But I'm gonna explain some things and I'm gonna show some more out of bounds discoveries that we already know probably, but in a way where you don't even need any programs to do that or any like hacks or cheats, so you can just do it whenever you want to on it. I think any copy of the game. It could also be different in Extreme Legends. Like I assume that in Extreme Legends it doesn't work. That could actually be the case why I never got it to work, because I didn't know about this glitch while I played the normal Dynasty Warriors 4, and only when I played Extreme Legends I found out about this glitch. So that could also be the case, but I didn't test that yet. But yeah, just like before, just press up and no other buttons, and then if you walk straight ahead just through these enemies, don't worry about anything, and then this happens. You just walk up the wall and then you're out of bounds, just like that, for no reason whatsoever. You're just out of bounds. My assumption is that it has something to do with the way the horse moves at the beginning. Like your position where you start is probably a very specific one, not with like every character in every position where they start, but this one specifically probably has a very specific spot, and your horse needs to be at the highest speed possible, and this could be the case on every single map where they start at this specific spot. But I could also be wrong, that's my assumption, you know. And you can basically just walk around here, you know. Just remember not to go back in the playable area or the gates, because if you go over there, like down here, then you're basically back in bounds again. But then if you want to, you could just go over there to Town Gate, and you don't even need any hacks or cheats for that, which is pretty cool. I didn't think that this would actually work, but apparently it works. I didn't think that this would happen, but it is actually the case that this works. And it's a very new thing to me, even though that glitch has been known for like almost 20 years, I think. But yeah, we're at Town Gate now, and usually you wouldn't be able to go over here, because, you know, there's not many glitches that get you out of bounds that are easy, but apparently that's the easiest one ever. Like I can't even say that it was difficult or anything. You know, it was just that easy to get out of bounds. And for some reason you can go down here, because this is where the bridge is supposed to be. But it isn't there in this version, because they were saving on like space and calculation power, like most games did back then. And yes, there's items over here, because the maps are basically the same, just copied over and removed some parts, and that's basically what they did. Pretty interesting to find stuff out of bounds, you know. It's usually not too normal, but it works. So I haven't found any other maps where this works, so I can't really tell you anything else that you can do besides doing crazy stuff on this map. But yeah, you could technically speedrun this. You could probably get a world record for finishing this in like 2 seconds, probably. And yeah, it's very interesting what you can do in this game. Slightly more broken than I thought, but at the moment for me it's only this battle. If you found any other ways this works besides the Yiling version, because that doesn't really work for me, unless there's like anything that I missed or didn't do properly. But if there's any other versions of this glitch, let me know. Yeah, otherwise this has been it for this episode. There's gonna be more, I'm gonna make more videos. I hope you liked this video. If so, give it a thumbs up and maybe subscribe if you want to see more. Bye bye.